Hello everyone and welcome to Rich T Racing with me, Derek. Right, today's episode is a bit different, as they all are. JJ will be commentating soon, but I thought I'd just introduce my awful driving that you're about to see. So this is my first time out in iRacing. I've never driven this track. I've only briefly driven the MX-5 Cup car that you see me driving now. And I make lots of mistakes in this race, in qualifying, in practice as well, but it turns out quite a good race, quite interesting anyway, so let's get to it.
Right, hello everyone and welcome to Lime Rock Park. Obviously that was Derek with his little introduction there, a very nice little touch there, but now we are back on board with myself. Obviously I'm commentating over Derek. We are here at Lime Rock Park, as I've just mentioned, and we are into the qualifying session as far as I'm aware. I could be wrong, but if we're not, then I've mucked this up massively, haven't I? But anyway, we're going through that very long first corner. Looks like a pretty decent track this. We now head through the left-hander, everything looking okay at the moment. We aren't seeing the mistakes that Derek mentioned, or he did just put a little wheel onto the grass there, now heading through sort of a slightly curved straight. Definitely would be classified as a straight, but it's a bit like the Monaco track where it's a bit of a banana straight, a little bit of turns here and there. He's going through what looks like a very nice right-hander. Oh, nice little chicane there. We get a little bit of oversteer, perhaps wheel spin, one of those two. I'm not entirely sure which they are. We come now through what appears to be a pretty much flat right-hander, heading now down another little straight. We've got this massive curved corner, sorry, coming up, a little bit of an incline, a little bit of camber changing, all that good stuff as we now head down the main straight, heading now down. I think we're completing another lap there. We just saw it on the little thing down there. Oh no, I'm guessing not. We've completely mucked that up, but we go now into the race. So James Derrick has qualified, and I think that looked like P8 or P9 with a 1 minute 3.4. So we are now ready for this race to get underway. And it's green flags, and away we go. Derek getting a bit of a shit start there, and he's already been overtaken by one man there, and now he is, James Derrick is in last place. So we're now coming into the first corner. Is there going to be any opportunity for Derek to get an overtake on that man in the white car? Yes, he is. We've got a car on our left as our lovely engineer will tell us, and actually you can see in the rear view mirror there, he is now falling behind us. So Derek, oh, hang on, no. Okay, he's literally right there if you look in the left mirror. But we've got Derek now going in for an overtake on that man in the black and red, and it looks like he is just about got past that man as we're now coming up behind a man in blue and also a car in yellow to head through a relatively nice corner of that right-hander. And now the guy in red is getting very close through the little chicane. Derek bumping his way on that man, and that man in the and there's a crash, and that man has been yeeted into the middle of next year, and somehow Derek is still on the track and running, but he has now just been overtaken by that man in the black and red as we come through the flat-out right-hander. Derek now got himself a little bit of a scrap going on between himself and this man in black. We've also got the man in white behind, and the man in white now, he's going to the inside line, heading down the main straight into turn one. Derek closing in massively, under braking, and it looks like he has yeeted the man in black and red, and that is, whilst Derek has made up that position, he has also obviously lost that other position to the man in white. This is classic 2018 Derek, just yeeting everyone here and there. You can sort of conclude the start of this year as well in the BUKC, but we carry on. So James Derrick, now we've got a yellow flag coming up, and there is a man in white. A man in white has spun out. I just suddenly realised that these might not necessarily be men racing these, so I could just be massively gender stereotyping here, and as this is 2019, I'm officially going to hell. So we're going to carry on with this race, moving on from that little statement there. I think that could be that's definitely my second favourite corner on this track. A nice flat right-hander now coming into the curved corner, as I called it earlier. It's a bit of an off-camber corner or something. I don't know. It's a corner. It goes to the right. Oh well. As we now come onto the main straight. So where are we? We're on lap 3, couple of minutes into this race, and Derek is currently trying to find his own feet. He is stuck behind this man in the white. He needs to close in on him or her. in order to have any chance of overtaking, obviously. And it looks like the man in white did just run a little bit wide there through turns 2 and 3 as we now come through turn 4, heading now down the little curved straight, as I like to call it. And it looks like at the moment Derek is not quite making any progress on this man in the white. He's still staying, it looks to be, if I had to make a rough estimate, I'd say about 2 or 3. What on earth has happened here? So Derek, so just as I'm slagging Derek off for being about 2 or 3 seconds behind that man in the white, 2 cars in white, with one with blue and one with a slightly different colour, have spun off. So that has allowed Derek to make up a further 2 positions, and I'm not entirely sure where we are at the moment, but Derek definitely, despite yeeting 2 drivers completely off the track, Derek is now doing quite well. If I had to make a prediction, he's just set some 1:03.3. He, as our lovely engineer has just told us, we are in 4th position. It looks like the man in white has run off and now make that, I say 4th position, make that 3rd. Derek now in a podium position. Whoever would have thought that? James Derrick in a podium. It looks like we got 2, as I've just received an email. That is incredibly rude of me. Total jobs, instant job map, field sales account manager, telecoms. Now you're all right. But yeah, anyway, well, where was I before? I was so rudely interrupted. So we are now in 3rd position, coming through definitely the best corner sequence there. Absolutely twatting it through that little chicane, chicane area right there, heading now into the fast right-hander. We're going to be coming up to the curved right-hander any moment now, and here we go. So Derek is going to be, he's out, I've just noticed he is in car 4, and he was in position 4, but he's now in position 3. But we have also something else I've just noticed looming in the background is the white car that Derek was chasing earlier, or maybe that was one of the cars that had a spin. I don't entirely know. He just sets 103.4. He has been dive bombed down the inside by that Mazda with the white and blue coloured livery, and Derek now car 4, now in 4th position. So we are going to come now on to another lap. This man in the white and blue, possibly a bit more experienced around this track than Derek. Obviously Derek mentioned at the start that he has never raced on this track before and is inexperienced racing this Mazda. I believe he also told me that in iRacing he is racing currently in the lowest class. He's racing in the rookie class, which is completely fair enough. And obviously there has been a little bit of rookie driving. Oh my, speaking of rookie driving, that man has just driven into the barrier. That is not how you drive through a racetrack, sir. You're meant to keep on the track, not drive into a barrier. But we move on. Yeah, as I was saying, Derek in the rookie class, there have been a few rookie moments, but generally speaking, I think he's driving pretty well at the moment. Since those few incidents at the start, obviously the incidents have happened in front of him and he has avoided them. It's very easy when you see an incident to somehow end up getting involved. I should know from experience whenever I race on F1 2019, if there's a car going slowly, somehow I'm always able to crash into them. It makes me do a noise that I was going to do for a funny effect, but I realised that probably wouldn't go down well. So anyway, we shall move on. Derek now currently obviously in P3. Derek's going to have to be wary of the drivers in white behind, who obviously have got a little bit of pace about them. If they can have an incident and then catch back up to Derek, then there is every chance that they can do it again. But just for the moment, we are currently by ourselves. Derek coming through the lovely section there, not driving into the barrier like the man did beforehand. And it looks like we are all good for the moment, as I'm just going to have a quick sip of water. And we're back. Welcome back to another edition of Rich T Racing, heading now through the curved corner or the cambered corner. Whatever it is, I don't know. I'm just speaking words at the moment. I don't really understand what I'm saying or really what I'm watching. I mean, I don't understand anything at the moment. What am I doing with my life? What am I doing? Anyway, so what's Derek done there? He's done a 1:03.4. I think that's very consistent from Derek as well, which is what you need in this type of situation. It's very good that he has got some track to himself. He's not really chasing anyone, and he's not currently having to defend from anyone. He just needs to learn the track and see what pace he can build up. And it looks like, whilst he's perhaps not setting blistering lap times, he's certainly setting consistent ones as we head through the slightly curved straight, and we're now going to be coming up to the best section on this track through the long right hand, and we're going to be coming immediately into an uphill left dink, as I'm going to call it. That's a good one. The uphill left dink, the dinky dink, I might call it. Probably not going to actually all this more gloss over that very quickly, but now coming through the penultimate corner and coming up to now the final corner, the curved corner, heading on to starting another lap. We'll have a look and see what. Oh, hang on, there is a yellow flag up in front. What could this be? There's a car. Was that car going backwards? Okay, that looked weird. That car had just sort of stopped on the straight. Almost looked like he was driving the wrong way. How interesting. No idea if that was for P3 or if that was just someone who Derek was lapping. But yeah, you don't see that very often. A car just stopped on the main straight. But there we go. Something else I've also just noticed, which is now really irritating me, is this. I don't know what system this is running, but obviously it's an American system because they spelt tyre wrong. It's definitely spelt with a Y, you inbreds. Anyway, we're coming now into the Dinky Dink, and Derek getting through there. Lovely. I think Derek's got that corner nice and nailed. Just having a quick look behind, and currently there is nobody there. So we're sort of on our own at the moment. Yeah, all going well. Oh, hang on. Just put an unintentional commentator's curse there on Derek, but he's got through there just about okay. And what lap time is he going to do? He's done a 1 minute 3.5, so he's actually set a faster lap time than the one he did previously, which I thought looked like a really good lap, but obviously that shows what I know. So Derek taking it nice and easy through here, and then whilst we're still not hang on. Another commentator's curse there. I said we weren't racing anyone. I've just spotted in the background, we'll wait for him. There it is. There is a Mazda with a red livery closing in on Senor Derek, and he's a little bit off at the moment, but it's certainly looking spicy now. Derek going to have to think about getting his defensive hat on, and he was also going to have to make sure he doesn't make any mistakes. I've said this in a number of videos we have done on this channel. When you are being chased, the pressure all of a sudden comes on, and if you show signs of weakness, if you show one lockup, one mistake, that will immediately tell the driver behind that you are focusing on him, not on yourself, and the most likely outcome is that you are going to be overtaken. But it looks like at the moment Derek putting in a pretty decent run of corners at the moment. He just sets what I believe is his fastest lap of the race, a 103 dead. He gets a little bit of oversteer there, and you can just see the silhouette of that red Mazda just fading away into the background. So Derek putting in a really good shift at the moment. He's got his defensive head on properly well, and is putting in, and he's just obviously putting a very good lap time. He's got to make sure that he maintains this if he wants to maintain position. Speaking of position, I really still have no idea where he is at the moment. This could just be the way that I'm watching it, or it could be that we just haven't received a lot of information. As far as I'm aware, he is in at least P3, possibly P2, but we will have to, I'm sure we will find out at some point. Going through the Dinky Dink nice and easy there, and he's just taking that corner nice and flat, making sure he doesn't make any mistakes. With the red Mazda very much can barely see it anymore. So Derek putting in, as I've said, a really good shift. He has run just a little bit wide there, and you can see that may very well have cost him, because that red Mazda is all of a sudden looming in the background. He set a 1 minute 3.2, so a couple of tenths slower than last time out. And as we've got 10 laps to go, bloody hell, 10 laps! Jesus, didn't sign up for this. Actually, yes, I did. That's a lie. Anyway, so coming into turn 2, and you can see there we just caught a brief glimpse of it. The red Mazda is definitely closer. So whatever good work Derek did on that previous lap has been undone slightly. Whether that's Derek making mistakes or that red Mazda just driving the socks off it to try and catch Derek, I don't know. I'm going to assume that it is probably a mixture of the two. Probably a little bit more lenient on the red Mazda, putting in more of a shift, because Derek, as far as I can work out, hasn't been making too much in the way of mistakes. He has got that Dinky Dink absolutely nailed. He's going through there really well and taking the fast right-hander about as well as one could. It's here where he made a slight mistake last time out, running a bit wide. It looks like he's run just a little. He's done exactly the same thing again there, and you can see in the rear view mirror the Mazda still probably about the same distance away as it was the last time. We'll wait to see what lap time he sets. He set a 1 minute 3.2, so practically the same lap as last time. So what will Derek be able to do? Will he be able to hold off for at least a podium position? I think he's in P3, but we will have to wait for confirmation. So he's got a bit of understeer there, perhaps. He was turning the wheel a lot and the car wasn't really doing anything. I'm pretty sure that's what understeer is. As we now head through the slightly curved straight, obviously foot flat to the floor, and you can see that Mazda still looming in the background. So Derek is obviously aware of the Mazda, has to be. If he's not, he's a bit of a div, but he's doing a really good job at the moment, taking the dinky dink as well as he possibly can, and now heading through what I'm now going to deem a relatively easy right-hander. It's this curved corner coming up here, or the off-camp, or whatever it is. Someone's bound to correct me for my foolishness, and Derek has taken that corner much better than he has done previously. He did not run wide, and he's now hopefully going to set. Are we going to see a sub 1 minute 3? Yes, we are. 1 minute 2.9. So Derek ramping it up a bit, although he has just run wide into turn 1. Where is the red Mazda? Can't see it in the rear window. In fact, rear mirror. So there he is. I just saw him in the left-hand side mirror. So Mazda definitely still there, but Derek pumping in the lap times and keeping him at bay for the moment. You're watching iRacing with James Derrick, courtesy of Rich T Racing, as we head through the Dinky Dink here at Lime Rock Park. A really nice little short track. It looks like it's absolutely tailor-made for cars such as the Mazda MX-5. I should probably speak a little bit about the Mazda MX-5. Obviously, I don't know too much about this specific version. I'm guessing it's some sort of racing version of it. Actually, of course, what we're talking about. Of course, it is a racing version of the Mazda MX-5, but Mazda MX-5, I know this is a personal favourite of Derek. He did own a Mazda MX-5 and was very sad to have to sell it earlier on this year. I believe his plan was to actually try and race proper Mazdas in real life, but unfortunately that plan just didn't quite work out, so we are stuck with some iRacing. But from the looks of it, from what Derek's talking about it, iRacing looks to be a fantastic alternative to actual racing, particularly if you've got the technology that Derek has got. He's got a fantastic simulator set up at his new pad in Birmingham. That is enough of filler. We are now back onto the racing, and it looks like that Mazda in the red is getting closer to Derek. I think he's made a few mistakes on these past few laps, but no matter. We've got the Dinky Dink coming up. This is where Derek is bound to be making up time, and he has done there, taking it absolutely superbly. But the Mazda in the red, it looks like he's dropped back just a little bit as we now head through the easy right-hander onto the difficult curved corner. There is a slow-moving vehicle in the way, but it looks like that car is just going to get out of the way, no dramas, and it looks like he might have even been coming into the pit, so we will not worry about him. The main thing we are going to be worried about is that red car behind us. Derek just sets a 1 minute 2.5. Fantastic lap time there from Derek. He's certainly ramping it up, but the unfortunate thing is that the man in the red Mazda is also ramping up as well, because he is keeping with him, and if anything, it has to be said, gaining on James Derrick. So that is going to obviously play an impact on Derrick's state of mind. And as I say that, he has run wide, made an error at probably the worst point coming onto the straight. This is going to give the man in the red Mazda the best chance possible to close up on Derrick coming through the Dinky Dink. This is where Derrick's been going really well, but it's always got a massive bout of opposite lock there, and this is surely going to bring the Mazda in the red back into play. Currently, not a lot seems to be happening. It looks like Derek's just about holding on to it by now, but this is where Derek has been struggling. Coming now onto the main straight, he's got the exit done pretty well coming onto the main straight, but you can just see that Mazda getting bigger in the rear mirror. What is the lap time going to be? It's a 1 minute 3.5, so we're just a little bit slower than what Derek was managing earlier. I think that shows how much progress Derek has made during this race on this track. As you might be able to hear my computer overheating at the moment. It is a relatively old computer, so we're just going to have to allow that for the moment. But what we're not going to have to allow is this man in the red to overtake Derek. I am confident in the man from Birmingham to be able to hang on to what I think is P3, but again, I'm sure at some point we will receive some form of confirmation. I'm just to say right now, the little screen I'm watching this race on at the moment has not got any sign of position on it, as Derek gets another bit of massive opposite lock coming through the Dinky Dink, just getting a little bit slidey through there. So what a corner that has so far proven to be Derek's strong point, just starting to show a few weaknesses. We now head on to the final corner, heading now down the main straight, and it is very obvious that Mazda is really close coming onto the main straight. Will Derek be able to hold off from the red Mazda? We'll wait to see. The Mazda now going to the outside line, or sorry, the inside line rather, heading now through the second corner. This is where that Mazda has definitely been gaining on James Derrick, so Derek will now definitely have to get his defensive cap on. Where is that red Mazda going? It looks like he's sort of darting about at the moment, trying to find somewhere to go down the inside or round the outside. Who knows where he might actually go, but for the moment Derek keeping the red Mazda at bay, and that is what he needs to make sure he does above all else, as well as not make sure he doesn't make any mistakes, particularly now through the dinky. He's absolutely nailed it through there, so giving himself a little bit of a respite there. The red Mazda just still firmly in the rear view mirror of James Derrick, but for now he has got a little bit of breathing. He took that dinky so perfectly, so eloquently through there, and he's also taken that final corner pretty well, just running onto the curve, running a little bit wide. So will there be a slipstream effect coming down this main straight? It certainly looks like the Mazda is gaining on James Derrick. Is he going to go to the inside? He's going to try something. For the moment, no, but has Derrick run it just a little bit wide there? It looks like he may have done, but he's keeping it steady for the moment. But the red Mazda definitely looking to the inside, right on James Derrick's bumper, but for the moment Derrick's still keeping just about in front, heading now through what I believe is turn 4. Will there be anything for the red Mazda? Will Derrick be able to keep on? Keep in front even? He hasn't made any major mistakes so far, so at the moment it's looking okay for Derrick. He just needs to soak up this pressure and hope that that nothing goes wrong, but just to say that he has really properly mucked up the dinky, and this is surely going to give the Mazda the opportunity that it needs. And there we go, the black and red Mazda has overtaken Derrick. Derrick, unfortunately, the corner he's been doing so well, the corner that he'd absolutely nailed the lap before, is unfortunately where his position has been cost. I'm fairly certain that was a podium position, but the important thing now for Derrick is, yes, he has lost the position, but what can he do to try and get that position back? Yeah, you can see there he set a 1 minute 5.9. Obviously that's been through fighting, and obviously that mistake as well. So we are now coming into the final stages of this race. We've got just about 4 minutes left, so I'd say we've got 6 or 5 laps of this race, possibly even 4. We might even only have 4 laps to go, but Derrick getting a massive kick of oversteer there, or perhaps just a bit of wheel spin, running a bit wide onto the grass, heading now into the dinky complex. First of all, we've got a little bit of a right-hander, and now we come through the big chicane, and Derrick absolutely twatting it through there, and now we are back onto the rear of this Mazda. It strikes me that this is the best position for Derrick to mount a challenge. If he can get this corner nailed, he could get a little bit of a slipstream effect coming into the first complex. But as we know from previous laps, this is where this Mazda he's chasing, is better than Derrick. So it's going to take something quite extraordinary for Derrick to be able to mount a challenge here. As we've just set a 1 minute 2.6. Heading now into the first corner. Derrick certainly keeping this Mazda within his range. Really good fight back here from Derrick to try and get this Mazda back into view. He just needs to make sure that when we get to that dinky section that he keeps it on track and nails it, as he has been doing so far. But it looks like he's just run a little bit wide, perhaps not taking the best line coming onto the curve straight. It looks like that Mazda in front has just got a little bit of extra legs on him coming down this straight as we come into the dinky complex. This is where Derrick is going to have the best chance to perhaps enact some form of overtaking manoeuvre, and the red and black Mazda has run wide, so this is allowing Derrick to close up. But will it be enough? He's certainly closer than he was on the previous lap, as we now come into the curve corner, the final corner. I think this could be one of the final laps. If this isn't the final lap, this is certainly towards the end. But there is the checkered flag, and is there going to be any opportunity for Derrick to get past? It does not look like it, as we're going to cross the line, and there we go. So James Derrick finishing in, I believe, P4. I'm sure we will see some form of confirmation any moment now. But yeah, really good race there from Derrick. Thoroughly impressed, considering as well this is his first time on iRacing, on this track, racing this car. I think he's done a fantastic job. Obviously, we would appear to still be racing at the moment, or we're certainly still driving about. I definitely saw it as he crossed the line. It said that it's over, but we're coming through the dinky section. Derrick properly on this guy's tail still. Looks like, are we still racing? I've absolutely no idea, but Derrick's he's overtaking him. Whether that will mean anything, I'm not entirely sure. We're side by side at the moment. The checkered flag is definitely out. There's a bit of argy-bargy, bit of contact there, and we're now. So Derrick's now got past this Mazda in the red and black coming onto the main straight. But is there going to be I'm really confused as to what's going on here. Are we still racing? The race is over. Bring it on in. What was I'm really confused. I don't really understand what's happened here, ladies and gentlemen, but the race is now definitely over. It would appear that we were racing on that final lap, because the way they were racing against each other would definitely suggest that they were racing. But yeah, either way, the long and short of it is that James Derrick has finished in 4th place. A really entertaining race around a really good track, and as this is James Derrick's first time on iRacing with this track, with this car, I'm very impressed. So all that is left for me to say now, I believe, is ta-ta and farewell.